Beautiful.
So,
All right, come on. Start with
handshake.
Twitch. Twitch has accepted the stream. YouTube has accepted the stream.
And then the ever famous wait for Facebook.
Right. Facebook has accepted the stream. Are you guys ready to start?
You
We're
good to go.
Okay. The timer has started.
Okay. So,
You're on the air.
hello everyone. Welcome to Mick's with my guest Shadowkat from Nickle City Wrestling, owner
What's going
operator,
on, Nick? How are you? A little tongue tied
and
there?
Mr. I got posted in the Buffalo News.
Hey, that's all right. My son gets posted more than I do, and I'm all right with that.
Okay, so first off, let's talk about what's coming up, which is Summer Slugfest. This is
Why
like,
don't we talk? We should probably talk about what happened first.
yeah, let's go with that.
Well, last show. I mean, if we're speaking on the entire show, we sold out the center concourse at the Eastern Hills Mall. We were already in the process of graduating to our own facility within the mall, being the old Dipson Theater, which will now be known as the NCW Superplex. So the preparations going into this show have been bar none, second to none. Last show, amazing matches. Our talent is skyrocketed, and we want to create some more opportunities for them people to get some eyes on them. So we feel as though this Superplex idea, this revitalizing the Eastern Hills Mall idea is where we need to be right now. And so leading into that comes our Summer Slugfest. All right, we do that show every year. Usually it's a pretty important show. This one gets to be a little bit more so because it's our debut in a new home.
Are we
Are you
gonna?
excited for that, Nick?
Yeah, are we gonna be doing shows in Batavia this year? So I have an idea. I
Yes, we
can.
will. As soon as we get a date locked down for Batavia Downs Casino, we'll be there as well.
Well,
As well as a couple other places that we still plan on traveling. This isn't our only place that we'll be doing shows, but this is our home.
the reason I was asking is so I can make sure that I'm not scheduled for something else.
Gotcha. Yeah. As soon as I have dates, you have them, Mick.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. I got a crappy list, but I had to use a pencil to write it. Luckily, I didn't have to use a crayon. Okay, so the first match I literally just took them off the pictures that were posted. So
Yeah.
is Greed versus Dakota Orion, and I'm not gonna butcher his
Pequeno
partner.
NL. Pequeno NL, right?
Yeah.
Well, as you've seen in the fans have seen in previous shows, Dakota Orion and Pequeno NL have had matches against each other. So for whatever reason, they decided that they have to have one goal. And with both of their talent, I think that the match against Greed is going to be very, very good, very technical, very high flying, characteristic of Pequeno NL and Dakota Orion. But again, across the ring, you have Greed, who's a dominant tag team in the Western New York scene. And, they're no stranger to Nickle City Wrestling. So they know what they have to do to go out there and give the fans the best performance they can. And I'm sure they'll do whatever they have to make sure that them championships stay on their waist.
Okay, and then let me see. Like I said, we've got your boys, your big guy and Soldier versus. Yeah, I ain't gonna try to butcher that one either. I'm not good with the. It's lot.
Los Mas Sueltes, right? It's Severino and Wolfie in a tag team match against the Latin Soldier and Don Diego Lopez, the biggest man in Western New York, and we introduced him first. Just throwing that out there. I think that one's again gonna be one hell of a contest.
Is he actually bigger than Braun?
He's
Sebastian?
a foot and a half taller than him. But you got Soldier, you got the veteran of the game on one side, with the student being Diego Lopez, but Diego Lopez has got size where he doesn't have the years of experience in the ring. He's got that size to his advantage against whoever he's in the ring with. So now if anybody's been out to UPW in Rochester and seen, Severino and Wolfie as a tag team, them two together are something special. And I think Soldier and Diego, they still have to keep their eyes open. They're a lot smaller than them, but they're quick. And I know what it's like to be that guy. I'm sure they're going into this pretty confident themselves.
And then I got the picture with, it says American Strong Style with Coach Hellcat, and it doesn't say who they're going to be facing, so it just said they were in action.
Okay, so that being said, I mean, there's obviously, pro wrestling, card subject to change, right?
Yeah, I always know card subject to change.
Big bullet point, card subject to change. Ass has worked themselves into a prime spot with Nickle City Wrestling, and so they've shown the work, they've shown the effort. They keep coming up a little bit short against Greed, but they're not done fighting. I think there's more that you're going to see from them, and I'm not sure who they have as opponents as of right now. Again, I may be owner, but I'm not always in the loop when it comes to this card. I'm not the booker for it, so I'm sure something's going to come out of that situation there.
Okay, so then we've got, this is my favorite part of the show, actually, where the ladies make their presence known. Vanna Black versus Haley J versus Crystal Moon.
Right. All right. So now in this women's match, you've got our consistent defending champion, Hollywood Haley J. Love her, hate her, she's family, so she's here and she's gonna defend that belt. And so we got two newcomers coming in. Let's see what they got. I'm always for, and again, this is to credit Nick Russo, man. He's got eyes for this talent, and so I've trusted him and other people to find me the best possible women's talent.
Now my question,
right? Go ahead. Somebody that's not been used everywhere, but somebody that's on the up and rise. And so Crystal Moon and Vanna Black both should make a great addition to any match that we have here. And to go across the ring from a women's champion in their debut match for Nickle City Wrestling, they must have known somebody.
Now my question comes to you. It was advertised that we were going to get Masha. Is she
Correct.
Still making an appearance, or
correct? Actually,
did Impact
she will not be making an appearance at this event. I spoke with Masha personally, and unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. You travel a lot. The dates, they either clash or somebody pops up with something that has to take precedence, and it's totally understandable, especially at her level. Especially at her level of the game, whether it be GCW or Impact. Or anywhere else that she's working. I trust her, and so she will be back as soon as she possibly can. As far as I know, she loves it here, and that's why she keeps coming back. So as soon as we can have her back here, I'm sure she's gonna I'm not gonna speculate, but we'll see. She'll be back soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I like watching her wrestle.
Yeah. It's quality talent. Arguably, I said it too. I think she's the number one wrestler in the world. That's my personal opinion, belief, expertise, whatever you want to call it. That's my vote.
You know me.
Right?
Me. I've got a personal opinion about the next match, but that's neither here nor there.
Which match?
Cyclone Jones.
Match are you talking about?
Cyclone Jones versus Ace Gervais.
Okay, well, Ace Gervais. He was a champion for a long time, and he gets a rematch, point blank. Cyclone Jones. He came out strong and caught Ace off guard. It is what it is. Maybe Ace shouldn't have ran his mouth to Joe Taylor, a pro boxer. That something tells me when you run your mouth to a pro boxer, it's not going to turn out very well, right?
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, Ace can wrestle. Absolutely, Ace can wrestle, but Joe Taylor didn't have to wrestle. All he had to do was reach him. Done. Right? So So that being said, well,
It adds
is
a
what
new
it is.
it adds a new meaning to the words. I'm going to reach out and touch you.
Stuff happens sometimes, but again, keep in mind, any fan that is at our show, that is not typical practice. You are not ever to reach over and try to interact with the wrestlers inside the ring for your entertainment purposes only. Just got to be clear,
Yeah.
Do not try this at home. I used to watch it on the Fed all the time. Right before any programming. Don't do this at home. Right?
And then we got the Crimson Kingdom versus Southern Hospitality. Those boys are on their way up.
Which ones?
Southern Hospitality.
How about all of them?
If they can catch up. Well, yeah, but I'm just.
How about all of them? You have the current NCW compound champion, Kodiak, right?
Yeah.
You have
Brian Yohe Jr.
He's been around this industry as long as me, and he's, for some reason, he's still in that quality shape that he was in 15 years ago, and there's a couple of us that have been able to pull that off, but not many. But again, I think he's seeking something. He's looking for something with that alliance that created with Ace Gervais and Kodiak and the Crimson Kingdom. I think that's intent. And so we'll see how that plays out. Kodiak and I, we were across the ring from each other. I threw him in the fountain at the Eastern Hills Mall.
I definitely missed that one.
As far as I'm concerned, our differences are settled. Mine and Kodiak has my respect. He came in and he worked for it, and I'm impressed at where he is and where he's going. But again, on the other side of the ring, you have Southern Hospitality, right? And they seem to just, as awkward as them dudes are, they blend together. Whether it be Bo Mac Calhoun with his cowboy hat and his gator head, or if it's OT Double D and his partner there, and like I said, it's an awkward alliance between them, but they all have something that's keeping them together, and it seemed to be functioning pretty good. They've yet to struck up a win, though. I mean, I always say that, and the ranks kind of count. And they've been struggling to find themselves some first win. They blend together really well, but they've yet to come up on top, right? And so you've got to think that they're coming in and giving it everything they got, right?
Yeah.
Kodiak's already proved himself. Brian with the questionable handoff on the compound championship. I'm not going to get too much into that. I didn't think Kodiak cared for that too much, but again, we'll see. We'll have to see what comes out of it. But Southern Hospitality, they got to be fighting. Grits to grind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coming out of that swampland, they're gonna have to pull it out of somewhere.
And then
it's gotta happen.
And then we got the match of the night. Well, one of the matches of the night.
The Pink Light District?
No. Yeah.
What do you mean the Pink Light District? You didn't even talk about the Pink Light District?
Because I totally skipped him.
What's the match of the night?
Yeah, I'm looking at the heavyweight title match.
Oh, you know what? We'll get to that, but you can't forget the Pink Light District and how entertaining.
Yeah, I can forget Mittens.
How entertaining is it when I drop him on his head? That was so funny. We did that at Batavia Downs, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, you did actually. And then that was when Sam Slade slapped the crap out of him too.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Sam Slade got in that ring like he knew what he was doing, and he just knocked him out. But so Pink Light District. I don't know if it's been announced who Pinky Chippendales.
No, he hasn't announced who he's gonna.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure he's got something to say. I mean, hey, if nothing else, that kid, he's always got something to say, and he's gonna let you know about it. All right?
Yeah, he ate he ate the women's division's feet last time.
He did, and I'm almost envious of him because he got in there, and he could say he got in there with some pretty good talent. He got his ass handed to him, but that's I'm sure he was okay with that. But
yeah,
I think again that's another one. Pinky Chippendales is often maybe even some people think that they overlook the effort of that kid, but he is come into Nickle City Wrestling and win, lose or draw, he's loyal. And so there's got to be a place here for him. And so the fact that he has that pink light district is something that is entertaining. And I think the fans want to see more of it and more of Pinky Chippendales. And as much as I loathe the possibility of saying that, the fans like it. And it's a little dirty at times, but I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
So again, look forward to that. That's definitely something you're not going to want to miss when you come out to the show on Sunday.
I could actually literally show you pictures of him getting bit by a 15-year-old cancer patient.
Yeah. I vaguely remember something of that sort. So now, so that being said, for anybody that needs to get tickets, still, there's a few left, I believe. Before we're considered sold out.
You got one for me, I know that.
Oh yeah, I got one for you. You already told me about that. So again, there's a few tickets left. For anybody listening, log on to ncwrestling.booktix.com. If you can't make that out, go to nickelcitywrestling.net. There's a link right to the ticket website there. Get on there and get your tickets while they're still available.
The person I got coming, hopefully she's going to be bringing her dad and kiddo the next time if she likes
Very
it.
cool. Hey, before I forget, we got who could forget? We have this crazy new VIP experience, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Right. And so not much has been made clear on exactly what's going on with that. But there's a ribbon cutting at 4:00 for all VIP paid ticket admission holders.
Yeah, that's right? Saturday, right?
Okay. So now, no, that's the day of the show at 4:00.
No, because it's listed as the 24th.
No, it's the day of the show at 4:00.
I'm being serious with you.
Okay, I'll check it out, but it's the day of the show, 4:00 early admission. So the VIP ticket holders show up at 4:00. They get let in the door before anybody else. They get a tour of the new facility, which is something that's not going to be offered to everybody.
Yeah, I'm listening. Oh, you froze up. You still there? What happened? Never mind. What happened? Did I lose him? Froze. Yeah, you went off the air. Damn it. So, yeah, we talked about almost all the matches and we lost Shadowkat, guys. But we were talking about what's going on. We got like he said, we got the VIP thing for the VIP. Yeah, I can't talk. For the ribbon cutting for the Superplex. Yeah. But, so, you know what? I'm going to do this, and I don't know. He hasn't came back on Zoom, so we'll see what happens. Hang on. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see if I can pick him up on, I'll call his phone. Maybe he'll answer.
You've reached SK Inc. Leave your name, phone number, and best time to reach.
Nope, don't. We lost it. Can't do it that way. Yeah. So, I'll just go back. And like I was saying, the last match of the night is going to be Chris Caden versus Shadowkat. It's going to be for the heavyweight championship. Call him on the phone. Tell him to reconnect. I tried. All I got was his voicemail. Richard, do you want to come let Shadow back in? Hang on, guys. We're trying to let him back in. Yeah. He froze up and then went out. He just totally went out.
Okay, he should be coming back in.
Okay.
There you go. I'm over here.
Okay.
All right, I don't know what happened there.
You froze up on it and then you went out. We still got to get your video back, but I know you're working on it.
Got it.
Okay, so I checked the thing and the one I saw said the 24th, but then I looked at the actual poster and it didn't say a date, so.
Yeah, no, it's the same day as the event, 4:00. The reason is we're letting the fans, like I said, get the first visual sighting of this new amazing performance area that we have, and I think this is something that is a new experience for these fans. The days of sitting in metal folding chairs around the ring is over. I mean, there's no reason why. So being that we have the old theater here, nice leather rocking back chairs. Why not? Enjoy yourself and be comfortable.
I was in there for the Fantastic Film Festival.
Yeah, and again, we've done a lot of work to the place. The guys, testament to them, man. I mean, they put the work in. The ones that have been there working know it and know that they are appreciated for it. It wasn't a one-person job. It was a 40-person crew, and everybody chipped in where they could. So I'm very appreciative of that, and I think the outcome is going to reflect in the fan experience.
Are you seeing the comments at all?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay,
I see Justin Trumbull on there. I see a couple people on there. No, I just see Justin Trumbull on there. But that's all right.
He's dealing
Hi,
with
Justin Trumbull.
I've been trying to get him to come into the studio. He said he would come in one time, but I had to go pick him up, and I do other things before that, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think you can avoid that whole drive across town thing when you can as long as I can have a good connection. My internet cut out is what happened there.
Yeah.
My modem needs to be replaced, but good old 5G. It's not really 5G.
Yeah, I know. So we're down to the final match that we can discuss. And it just happens to be
Yeah. I'm listening.
It just happens to be the one and only high-flying Shadowkat versus Chris Caden. Or the Caden Nation, however you want to call it.
Charisma personified, right? That's what he calls himself. Right. Listen. People want to know why. People want to know why. Why did I do it? Why did I turn? Whatever you want to call it. I didn't. Again, this is the first time I've even publicly spoke on this. I didn't turn on the fans. I turned on the wrestlers. These young up and coming wrestlers that they come in for a hot second, a cup of coffee, as my tag team partner Deacon used to call it. They come in for a cup of coffee and they think that they deserve the world. And so we're in a world where we come from, where we have a little bit of old school values. I want to see the work. I want to see them working for it. And you know what? For a long while, I didn't see that work. I just seen the, hey, what can you do for me? And they need to understand that being in the professional wrestling world or industry or not even specifically Nickle City Wrestling, anywhere you go, they need to be humble and respect that. And I think that's my beef. That's my fight with the crew. That's why I did what I did, was because I want to see that work. I want to see that passion and that drive that I've felt for 20 years. I want to feel it. And if I don't feel it, if I don't believe in them, then none of them fans are ever going to believe in them. So you know what? If it takes me beating it out of them once in a while to get them to stay humble and to be excited and passionate and driven to fight to that top of that ladder, that's my end goal as a teacher. Okay? And so now Chris Caden decides he wants to be the advocate for these young talent for whatever reason. He wants to be the advocate. He's a great trainer, a great coach at Flower City Wrestling Academy. Okay? Up at UPW up there. He's a great trainer. No qualms about that whatsoever. But lets things slide a little bit too much. And I'm kind of at the end of that rope where I'm going to let things slide. So Caden wants to be the advocate for the young talent. Then I'm going to show him how much it'll cost him, even to him. When you step out of that chain of command,
So we've covered the card, and
Justin's got a little advertisement here. He says, buy a Chain of Command shirt and support at the next NCW show. Absolutely. Brand new released Chain of Command shirts. They're awesome. They're double-sided, full color, nice light color for the summer. So make sure as soon as you get the chance, either message me for one of them shirts, as there's only a limited amount that we made for this show. So stop out at the show. Come grab one if you can, if they're still available. That's gonna be the hottest selling item this summer. I think it's a pretty cool shirt.
And didn't Junior design it?
Absolutely, Shadow Junior does a lot of our design work now. I've taught him everything I know, and I think he's learned even a little bit more than me already. So that's good. Testament to that kid's hard work. He busted his tail, and I think next to me, there's very few people that can stand next to me when it comes to people that work as hard as I do. And he's one of maybe 3 or 4 that I can say go toe to toe with me on the workload, on the work ethic. So kudos to him, man. He's doing some things.
My next question for you is, what is Deacon's status? Is he coming back, or is he just, or what?
Hey, listen, the fallen will always exist, right?
I understand that. I'm just asking.
Sometimes even the fallen fall. But I mark my words, he's not done yet.
Well, I didn't expect him to be done. I was just
he loves wrestling way too much to just be done. But you know what? Sometimes this business burns people out. I'll be honest. Years of promoting, years of wrestling, it's trying. And I could say it from the same side that the fence that he once was in wrestling and owning a company. It's impossible. Okay, we make it work, but it's still impossible. And the countless full days of work and working double time. And, just constantly trying to reevaluate what you're doing and making it better. It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of mental strain. So whether it be physically, hey, listen, Deacon's in better shape than a lot of people I know. And so if he wants it bad enough, he knows where we're at, and he'll be back. That's my brother, and I'll just be my brother till the day I die. He's my family. He might as well be blood. So
let me ask this question. You said you took over the old Dipson Theater, correct?
Yes, correct.
So we're looking at you taking over one of the theaters, making it into the wrestling arena, for lack of better terms.
Correct. The largest theater within the old theaters in the Eastern Hills Mall. It will now be our performance theater, right? And so instead of having, a bingo hall or an old gymnasium, now we're going to give you a different experience. We're going to give you not only the best storylines and characters, but also very, very good quality wrestling. And so we're going to combine all that stuff together, and we're going to try to put it in the if you can envision sitting in a theater. I mean, think of Shays, right? You go down to Shays, and you got live performance art, which is what we are. We're performance art, right? We're also athletes that get hurt all the time, but we're trained professionals, and that's the bottom line. Right. We're trained professionals. We're going out there to, we put our bodies on the line, but we do it as an entertainment value, and we do it to give people something to aspire to be. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody can be a wrestler. Right. And that's okay. So for everybody I possibly can show what I know to this secondary theater. Again, so there's 3 cinemas within the theater. Okay. Or there's three rooms with theater screens, right? So We have one which is for our main shows. That's the largest one. Then the medium sized theater, that's our wrestling school. 4 days a week we're there training. Don't kid yourself. We're there 4 days a week. And we have a class of almost 25 people that come in, and they all want to learn, right? And so I'm not the only person I want them to learn from. So I do have other trainers come in and help out here and there, and to show them a different way of things, because you're not going to learn everything about professional wrestling from one person, right? But everything that I do have and the knowledge that I do have, I'm going to give it to the next generation if I have the opportunity to. Because I would like to see a little bit of me somewhere down the line, 10 years from now, when I'm sitting here doing my flower garden or something, or watching a deer in my backyard and I can't wrestle no more. I want to see that somebody valued the tradition of professional wrestling and not just going out there and doing cool moves. I want to see stories being told. I want to see characters being developed. And I'd like to say that I had a hand in it.
I know me and you have sat down a couple times. Well, technically stood up and had this discussion, but same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for giving whatever knowledge I have in my brain while I'm still here. When I started in this industry, we didn't have the trainers that we have now. We didn't have somebody that broke this thing down to a science and truly perfect this craft, right? We had to learn that on our own. The middle generation, I call us, right? We had to learn this on our own. So we figured it out, and then we got the training where we needed to throughout the process. So we want to give the next generation the best fighting chance at getting seen, right? And that's a lot easier today than it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know, because
you have the internet. You can take a picture on your cell phone, take a selfie, and put it up on the internet and say, "Hey, yo, I'm this guy." But 20 years ago, when we got into it, and we were still sending VHS tapes to WWE in hopes that we would get seen, right?
Yeah,
it's not like that. So I'd like to think that again, the hard work put in before this generation is why they have the ability to be as good as they are now, which they are. They are hands down quality wrestling talent now. Whereas back when I started this stuff, training was mediocre at best, right?
Yeah, because when I started coming to independent wrestling, I didn't even know there was a such thing as independent wrestling when I started watching stuff. And because like I have told you before, I grew up watching Mid-South Wrestling, watching the original WWF, WWE, WCW. I watched all that stuff as a kid. I had my heroes.
My first taste of it was again. I praised it when I was up, and I just did the cage match at UPW, and I've been up there working and getting my wrestling in as well. Because again, I'm never too good for going somewhere else and entertaining a different fan or a different crowd or seeing how other people do things. But again, I had that cage match basically 20 years from the day that I started wrestling almost, and it was a crazy experience. And to still have a relationship with the place that I got my start, I'm grateful, truly grateful. And to see not only, so we have this cool collaboration or working arrangement where, these kids from their school can come up and wrestle at my school for a day a week. And then my kids can go up there and we can work together. We can all get this kind of blended. And if you remember correctly, the bio on our website when we first started, right? What did I say it was, man? I said it was the melting pot of talent in professional wrestling in Western New York, right? And it took 8 years to get there, but now for the most part, we all work together.
Yeah, and
we all work with the same talent. We all have different stories. We all have different, feuds and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're independent wrestlers.
Yeah, and it's like I've said it a few times on here, and I'm like, and I've said it this holds true for the wrestling community, the cosplay community, the every other community out there. The statement goes, why can't we all just get along?
It just, we do better. We do better. The industry as a whole grows if there's less wrenches thrown in the gears. You know what I mean? So the wrestling as an entire industry grows when competition, or I don't even call them competition, because at the end of the day, the only people that each one of these promotions competes with is themselves, right? Because they're never going to beat WWE. So any one of these promotions, they're just competing with themselves and being a better version of they were yesterday. Is the best possible outcome, right? And so I'm actually, as a matter of fact, not long before here, I talked to one of the guys over at ESW right before the show, and I said, man, have a kick-ass show, and if I can be there, I'll make it. The only reason I'm not making it there right now watching their show is because I'm on Mixed World, right? But again, you got to show support where you can. I live a busy life. I got a couple businesses, my tattoo studio, the wrestling company, and of course this Superplex is taking up a lot of my time. But even I still to this day, I'm not too good for it. I'm going to go support pro wrestling where I can.
And it's like I said, we and you've had had back and forth conversations about what role I could take in this. Well, I know I'm head of security, but I've also talked to you about being manager for somebody, and I'll give you my short list of who I want to manage. Honestly, wait
a minute, hold on. I'm not the booker. You can't talk to me about this.
But I'm being honest with you. My short list of people I would like to manage, it starts with Thriller, and might as well throw in Southern Hospitality. And there's a few others that I've seen throughout watching that I think I would be good with, but that's just my opinion. But
well, yeah, I mean, you can always have ideas are always good as long as they're brought to the table at the right time with the right opportunity. Anything's possible. Obviously, I mean, not for nothing, we've been around almost 8 years. Our inbox is always lined with wrestlers that want to come wrestle for us, and it's not that we don't want to bring any other talent in. It's that we're going to treat our home guys. We're going to take care of the guys that are here working for us on a daily basis, not somebody that just comes in and says, "Hey, yo, I need a spot this show because I'm available." Well, that don't mean you're invested in the company. And to me, as a business owner, if you're not invested in more than just, hey, I want a spot, then I got no place for you here. That's not what we create a family here. And if we can't have a long-standing relationship, then what's the point of these quick, one-show deals? I like to establish people. That's why we have the relationship with Masha Slamovich that we have. That's why we have the relationship with Haley J that we have. Because they're understanding and they're invested in the product as a whole, right? That's the appreciation for pro wrestling, right? But again, that's the direction that we try to keep going.
So I'm going to ask you this question, and probably won't get a straight answer, but that's a different story.
I'm going to sip my coffee off camera so I don't get a copyright infringement here.
But my question to you actually is, do you have any future event dates that you want to let loose?
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. Our next live event after this show will be August 26th, my sister's birthday, Rising Dawn. It's always in August. This year it happens to fall on her birthday. I guess it makes it a little bit. I mean, again, every step that we do this, we always get kind of close to the date that it's her birthday, but it's never fell on her birthday, so it's got to be the biggest show we've ever had, right?
Now, which sister is this? The one that does tickets?
No, this was my sister Dawn that passed away.
Oh,
that's why we call the show Rising Dawn, just like when we do April Mayhem. That's after my other sister that passed away.
Well, I never asked any questions.
Yeah. I thought we were pretty clear on that. I mean, that's why we have them annual shows. That's why they're the same every year. One's April, one's Dawn, and that's my way to say, hey, listen, the world's not going to forget, right?
But we got to talk about something else. It's more on a personal side of the Shadowkat. He's a new grandpa.
Oh, I was going to say not too many people are allowed in the Shadowkat personal life. It's something that.
Well, you
we try to keep-
broadcast that all over Facebook anyway, so.
Anyways, Grandpa Shadowkat, right? Right.
Oh, believe me,
So,
I know that whole.
I mean, I'm a dad. I'm a dad
Yeah.
first, right? And my daughter, she just had a beautiful baby girl. That's my Aubrielle. That's my world now. I don't have infants no more. And my youngest child, my son, is graduating high school on Sunday, the same day as our show. And yep, I'm gonna pull double duty, and I'm gonna be that dad, and I'm gonna be that wrestler at the same time. I'm gonna be both places.
Here's the kicker, and I'll tell you from experience, because I've done it. You walk in, and that first time you hold your granddaughter, your grandson, or whatever, your body just your whole mentality just melts.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was the same. I've always been. Again, I mean, I have 4 biological kids, right? But you've seen my life over the last several years, and I've raised other people's kids too. And here, they're in my life for whatever time period they're in my lives, and I appreciative of that. And I teach them the same way that I teach my biological kids. So yeah, I'd like to say that I'm a dad to like half this city somehow, but my granddaughter, that hit different.
I do.
And I'm just grateful that she's healthy. I'm grateful that my daughter is healthy and their family is good. And yeah, I'm just as overprotective of my granddaughter, if not more than I was over my own kids. But we'll see. Maybe one day, hopefully I can be doing this long enough to get her to an age where I can train her to do this as well. We'll see. To keep it in the family business.
Speaking of the family business, how is Junior's progress coming along?
I mean, as you see, I mean, there's little clips and tidbits and stuff that goes up. And
Yeah,
if you're careful enough to see it, you can. But he has not had an official match. He will not have an official match until he turns 18. But that kid's been ready to go for the last 2 years.
Music is art sparring matches. I've seen a few of those.
There are exhibitions and demonstrations of our show, our school. And just to show them, just to show people. And again, this year coming up, that's another important date, right? September 8th, or is it September 9th?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at the.
Oh, you look like a terrible spokesperson. September 8th or 9th is Music is Art down at Riverworks, and Nickle City Wrestling will be there again. And again, that's just showcasing our students and trying to gain new students and try to introduce people to the world of pro wrestling, and try to cross these genres of things, music and art and wrestling. Why not, right? Just like malls, and the story that we got in the Buffalo News today is like, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's a collaborative thing and you work together, then everything that you're a part of grows, right? And so if we put music together, we put art together with music, and we put wrestling together with that, hey, it's all good for everybody.
And I've always, I've did my best to bust my ass with you guys, and I'll be honest, I have, and I've watched Nickle City grow from when it began till now. I've watched it have that spark in OSPW.
Yeah.
Which was actually a very interesting end of an era to going into a brand new era.
I'll always be grateful for the way that went, right? I never wanted to be a promoter. That was not what I wanted to do, but I heard my home fed was done. So I felt as though I owed something to the industry. Not that the industry owed it to me, like some of this younger generation. Hence why I'm running around beating them up. This younger generation doesn't understand. Like, that's a blessing for somebody to have the role that I do. I didn't want it. I never wanted anything to do with it. I just wanted to wrestle. But now I maybe I needed a new purpose and I didn't know, right? And so I think with this purpose that I mean, you've seen tons of talent in and out of this, Nickle City Wrestling. They come in for a while, they leave, they come and go, right? You know the ones that are there, the ones that never go anywhere.
Yeah, I know
right?
the ones
They're
that
always-
are kind of like, jokingly, let's just say they're chained to the company.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine, and that's good. I'm just stating from a wrestler slash promoter slash trainer perspective, like to watch these guys grow and move on even beyond us. And again, prime examples, and I'm not going to name drop anybody, but there's been people that have been through our doors that have become better because of the exposure that they got from us, and in turn, them doing well does well for us because that's a testament to hey, we gave them an opportunity when nobody else would, or we gave them an opportunity before anybody else. And it's just nice to see the evolution of pro wrestling. Hence, again, same thing we said from the start.
And
that's what we were.
And I was I was perusing the Facebook page like I normally once in a while do, and I saw the picture of the tryout class that showed up, and that looked like an interesting bunch.
Yeah, we have. Hey, listen, we have 5 new students that are on board, and we're gonna see where this world takes them. Right. So now the way we do it is, I mean, we create it like a family, whereas that group sticks together, so they grow together, they learn together, right? And so, yeah, we have more advanced students, and we have people that have advanced even to wrestling matches, right? But then we have the intermediate group is in the middle of that, and then now we have this beginner group. So we have a nice balance of teachings, and it keeps me on point because it has me relive some of the stuff that I should be. You go back to your basics and stuff like that, and fine tune stuff. In wrestling, you'll never be done learning, right? And so this new breed of talent. Hey, listen, the one kid wears a crop top every single day. Love that kid. He's great. And I think he'll do well in the wrestling business, and some of the other ones as well. But it's weird because now in 2023, when you have a tryout class of 6, one who was never fully invested into being like a full-time wrestler, right? But it was something that he always wanted to try. So he came and did the tryout, and I respect that. And he'll still be in our crowd as a fan. And that's cool. But when we started, if we had 10 people, when we had 10 people do a tryout, you would have one make it, right? And so right now, I mean, 5 out of 6 are here. 5 out of 6 were on board the next day, standing there when it was time to start class. They were ready to work. And as long as they keep bringing that drive, as long as it takes me to train them and to feel like they're efficient enough to go out in the world of independent wrestling and in Western New York area, and then obviously even beyond that, the working relationship with UPW is great because I can say, hey, this guy's ready. Let's give him a shot.
But here's my question to you.
Yeah.
How long, and this is straight up, how long does it take to recover from a Hellcat chop?
20 years at least. The reason I listen, hey, day one, scoring me to hell. Good old NWA Upstate and Hellcat. Group of 20 guys, bam, bloody in the chest. Boom, 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 boom. It's not like that. Wrestling's not really like that anymore. No. Thanks, Hellcat. Love you.
Because I've watched those chops, and I've seen the handprint.
Hey, listen, I was in Deacon and I were in. We've wrestled matches with Hellcat, and at the time it was Hellcat and Rob Sweet. We've wrestled matches.
Rochester Wrecking Crew.
Yeah, right. Good tag team. It sure was. But yeah, I mean, I'll take another one if he's got to give me one. But yeah, you don't ever get over it. That's the point. It's supposed to stick with you, like scorn your soul when Hellcat chops you. Bam, done. Right? Never forget it.
So
probably, I'd like to think that maybe that was something. I don't think he taught me how to do a chop, though. I was gonna say most people don't like when I chop, and in a wrestling match, it's like a eye to eye understanding. If you don't chop me, I'm not gonna cave your chest in. But if you chop me, I might. Right?
You know,
what,
it's,
hey, what 5'2" what 5'2" guy has a giant paw for a hand? Well, you don't get chopped by me, right? Don't piss off your trainer.
oh, I've seen that happen too.
So what else you got, Mick? What's Mick's world? Let's see.
Mixed World's just, you know, it's going. I'm coming out of that knee replacement surgery, which is actually let's see. I actually just passed the 6 month mark. The 6 month mark and on June 12th. 6
Right,
months
I
out of
gotcha.
having my surgery.
Well, that's good. It's showing some progress. Hey,
And-
so real quick, hey, back on this. You know what? I just thought of something. And it's totally. If you know anything about Shadowkat's personal life, you know I'm not normal, right? So that just popped into my head. Did you see the promo Chris Caden cut on Shadowkat?
Yes, I saw the promo. I watched it a little bit earlier today.
Okay, so Chris Caden standing by the water, holding the NCW championship. I don't even know how he got it. I locked the doors, like weaseled his way into the building somehow, grabbed the belt. All of a sudden, it ends up in Rochester. I think he's going to throw it in the water like Stone Cold Steve Austin in The Rock. And luckily, he didn't do that. But then he proceeded to tell me that he doesn't like the way that I treat the younger talent. Well, again, Caden, here, let me knock on the screen here. Knock, knock, knock. It's not personal to any one of them. It's about wanting them to come fight me for it, right? And that's the way it's going to be. But until then, until that happens, I got to fight somebody, and you have a shiny prize. And maybe if I beat you and take it, maybe you'll stop running around hitting people with your D. Right? And so there's that. All right.
That's what I actually.
In all reality, if I'm in a good mood today, again, granddaughter's nice, healthy. I got to see my godson this weekend for Father's Day. Had a good birthday. 38's not so bad. I don't care what anybody tells you. I can still do backflips. It's not that bad.
I had a nice birthday too, actually.
And I've been dropped on my head by a whole tons of not well-trained people. So if I can do backflips at almost 40 after being dropped on my head for 20 years, you'll be all right. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world to get a little bit gray hair in your beard, right?
Hey, we're not talking about that.
Chris Caden, you have a little bit more than a couple gray hairs in your beard. Chris Caden, you're a champion and you're good. There's no doubt in my mind. But you're putting your nose where it doesn't belong. So, you want to be an advocate for the fans? It's going to be at the expense of you and that precious title that you hold on your shoulder. You want to be that guy. That's what you told me. You want to be that guy. Fine. But the only way that you're that guy is if I can't beat you.
There was a comment on that actually video that kind of made me wonder about it, and it was made by a fan actually, and that was watch Russo because he might cheat.
I've got faith in my crew. We do what we have to do, and again, at all costs, right? At all costs, we have to protect Nickle City Wrestling. We have to protect our families. We have to protect the industry, right? Take that for what it's worth. Sometimes, if stuff isn't being done the way your vision sees it, you have to alter that vision. You have to alter that reality. And the reality that Caden's been living, thinking that he's the top guy,
Top guy just
dream world, right? Dream world.
But we're
See
down
what you
to
did there? You got me totally focused. You see me get totally focused right there? You see, because when I think of the way that Chris Caden put himself out there to our family-friendly crowd with his vulgarities and his swear words, and he calling me an effing child, and then he even threw a B word. Doesn't he know I'm a cat? Aren't the B words? Isn't that a dog? Like, really? See, it got me a little emotional here, Mick. That's what happened. That you know what that tells me? That tells me that the main event of Summer Slugfest
is going to be lit.
Exactly. Thank you. I didn't even have to say it.
But we're down to like the last 5 minutes, so I want to thank you for coming on. Usually I drag Russo into your position, but he's been busy doing Russo stuff, and I want to thank everybody.
Hey, listen. Don't
coming.
be concerned with what Russo's doing. Don't be concerned with what Russo's doing. He's doing exactly what I told him he should be doing.
But you know what I'm saying. He's been doing Russo stuff. You know, he's got his real
Russo
life.
Stuff.
He's
all over the place.
But
he's a mastermind. You know what I mean? He's a mastermind of indie wrestling, man. He's got 1,000 things going at once, but he knows where he's going every step of the way.
And I wanted to give a couple shout outs to you got Nickle City show. There's other events coming up that, you know, like Nickle City Comic Con and things like that. Well, I'll get more dates on later on. But I wanted to give a shout out to my little buddy TJ, 15 years old, on his third battle with brain cancer. And, you know, I talked with his mom at an event that I was at, and she told me he was 15 years old and he had a heart attack because of the medication for his cancer treatment.
Jeez. Well, hopefully, you know, the best outcome will come of that, and you know, hopefully somebody is looking down on that kid and taking care of him. Well, because he's a fighter, man. I mean, and that's what I admire most about him, man. Is he's got no quit in him. He's all fight, man, and that's
because he's beaten this twice already, so we're working on the third time. And you know, it's like there's been a lot of injuries for a lot of people. A lot of people are recovering, and how we got our asses kicked for 2 years with COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but you know, hey, listen, every day in this world is a battle for every one of us. We all have different battles. We all fight them every single day. But the point being is that as long as we get up with intent and we get up with purpose, then that's what makes this world go round. We fight. That's what we do. Right?
Yep.
Hey, look, speaking of which, in that top corner over there, where's my hand? Behind my head here. See that picture of Shadowkat right there?
Yeah.
That was a photo done by good old Jose Vega, right? It's a big
the big pun.
Canvas. Yeah, big pun. So that's my memory to him sitting up there. And again, even as a wrestler, I don't forget my fans. I don't forget my supporters. And our supporters, I should say, Nickle City Wrestling supporters. It doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and as much of the struggles that you have seen us go through, you've also seen us succeed, and we'd like to keep doing that for you. But on that note, Mick, I think it's pretty close to the time here.
Yeah, we're down to like the last minute 5. But I wanted to say thank you.
Cheap pop. I'm going to give a cheap pop. I'm going to steal it, and I'm going to give a cheap pop. Side note, Pearl Street, 500 Pearl, September 16th or 17th. Midget Wrestling Warriors is coming to Buffalo. And yours truly, the high-flying icon, will be there. And you'll have another chance to see me do some cool flying.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna be in Greece, New York for a convention on those 2 days. But
you just buzzkilled me right there.
Well, you did your thing, and I'm gonna be at a con doing my thing.
All right, you do your thing.
Which we all know my thing is cool. But thank you for coming on.
Go live Sunday, June 25th, 5 p.m. Eastern Hills Mall. Don't miss your chance to be there. Support Mick's World. Check out his shows, even when I'm not on them. And Mick, thank you for having me on the show, and Mr. Richard for gracing us with the opportunity to have the platform put us out here.
Thanks a lot for showing up.
All right, brother.
I'll talk to you later. And as everybody knows what time it is, it's the be safe, be strong, and see ya.